Welcome back to the David Pakman Show.
Welcome back to the show. Of course, davidpakman.com, the website. If you're looking for a quick, easy way to help the show, people always ask me for this, Lewis, log on to iTunes, search for the David Pakman Show, rate and review our show on iTunes. Whenever we get 5, 10, or 15 reviews in one day, a ton more people sign up for the podcast because it pops up on that first page. So that takes 30 seconds, Lewis. I know you're doing it constantly.
All the time.
Fox News has labeled Elie Wiesel a Holocaust winner. Now, of course, he is a Holocaust survivor. He didn't win the Holocaust. Here's what that looks like. This was put up on Fox News during a broadcast. He won, Lewis. He won.
He beat the Holocaust.
Congratulations to Elie Wiesel.
Elie Wiesel won, Holocaust 0.
Right. They took this down after a second, and then it popped back up, and it said, Nobel Prize winner. And then once they put the video online, you can imagine what happened. So they actually took it down from their website as well. How pathetic is it what's going on over at Fox News with the titles?
Long history of this.
We do. We have a long history of it. That's absolutely right. I have a bunch of these for you, and some of these are incredible. Here's one where, and you tell me, ladies and gentlemen, which ones are malicious and which ones are just stupidity. Here's a map of the Middle East. Now, if you look at this map, it might be interesting to you because if you look at the country that's labeled Egypt, you might say, you know, I don't remember Egypt being north of Saudi Arabia and west of Iran. And you'd be right, because that's actually Iraq. So we have a map here of the Middle East. Countries are mislabeled. All right. Well, that's probably just an error, right, Lewis?
I assume so.
Let's go on to the next one. This goes on to the long history of Fox News. Whenever a Republican does something bad, you turn it on and he's labeled a Democrat. You know what I'm talking about, Lewis. Definitely. Here's Mark Foley. Here's Mark Foley. And Lewis, you got to keep that mic on, buddy.
Oops.
Former Congressman Mark Foley. I met him once. It was odd, to say the least. I've told the story before on the bonus show. This is the image that was on Fox News when he left the House in disgrace after being caught sending explicit emails to teenage boys serving as congressional pages. Of course, he's pro-family and anti-gay, obviously. You know, no question about that. Guess the party affiliation Fox News assigns to him. Well, Lewis, unless the alphabet has changed, that's a D under his name. That's a D under his name. Here's another one for you. And these just go on and on and on. This is a poll from the Rhode Island Senate. This is the poll results from a then upcoming race between Democrat Sheldon Whitehouse and Republican Lincoln Chafee. Of course, we have a poll here that shows the Democratic candidate has an 11-point lead. Fox News conveniently mixes up the parties and the numbers. So these continue. There's a lot of these, Lewis.
Let's keep going.
Arlen Specter. Arlen Specter, you remember back in 2007 when he was a Republican? Well, one day he said, you know what? Even though I'm a Republican, I'm going to get Alberto Gonzales in here, and I'm actually going to question him because he forgot to misremember what he didn't ever learn. Remember that guy, Alberto Gonzales? Arlen Specter questions him, makes him look bad, to be honest. Let's put a D next to his name, as our video audience is seeing right now. Next one, Mark Sanford. Remember when Mark Sanford claimed to be in the Appalachians hiking, but in fact, he was actually in my home country of Argentina with some girl? He was a Republican governor of South Carolina, holding a news conference here to announce that he cheated. He admits to an extramarital affair. Let's put a D next to his name, too. And lastly here, and we have a lot more of these, Ted Stevens, may he rest in peace, indicted, found guilty for violating provisions of the Ethics in Government Act. He's the one who thought the internet was not a series of tubes, right?
Right.
Or he thought it was.
The internet is a series of tubes.
It's not something you back a truck up to.
Or dump something in a truck. I don't know.
Well, he's indicted and found guilty. Let's put a D next to his name as well. Right.
Now, is the assumption here that the majority of Fox News viewers don't know who these people are anyway, so let's just make the Democrats look bad?
That's right. I think it's what it is. By definition, on Fox, anything a Democrat does is wrong, right? So anything that is wrong...
A Democrat does.
Must have been done by a Democrat, right? That's the logical solution. We've got a lot of these. These are just a few. And and speaking of which, remember when we talked on, when was it? On Thursday, about the Fox News is making people stupid poll that we got?
Right.
And people were saying one of the things that Fox News overwhelmingly believe is that Barack Obama was not or may not have been born in the United States. And when you actually, I talked to some conservatives and they defended that story by saying, well, it's because Fox is the only one that's covering that as if, as a legitimate story. And I'm thinking, it's not a legitimate story. That's the problem. It's not a legitimate story. And we actually might put that story to bed. Probably not, but we might.
No, there's no putting this story to bed.